Michigan guy, born and raised, played for the Wolverines, drafted by the Red Wings, now the captain. Playoffs as a rookie, hasn't been back since. Frustrated last year. Remember at the deadline, they didn't really do much. Here's what he had to say about all that. Said that there was a chance, right? This team could have gained some momentum with picking up guys at the trade deadline. That didn't happen. They didn't get the spark. They didn't get that morale boost that they could have gotten. We spoke to the team's GM, Steve Yzerman, last week. This is year 7 of the Yzer plan. We asked him about Larkin's words and his relationship with Dylan Larkin.
I want to speak for Dylan. I'd like to think we have a great relationship. I enjoy talking with him. He's very open with me. We communicate very well. So I think we have a great relationship. You know, the comments at the end of the season aren't that big of a deal and certainly didn't create any divide in the relationship between he and I.
Here are those words I mentioned with Dylan Larkin right around the trade deadline. It seems to me, you know Steve Yzerman well, Chelly. He's about business. He's not going to let that get in the way. When we have him on, he's come on with us a few times now. He's short. He's to the point. When you play with him, did he talk? Did he did he go on? Or did it come out where I have something to say, it's quick, but it's important?
Well, his leadership qualities were, by example, what he did on the ice, no question, and in the gym, and his work ethic. And no one better. Never had a better captain. I compare him to guys like Bob Gainey. And he had no one to teach him initially when he came in as an 18-year-old as a captain. That's a lot to put on your shoulders. So, again, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and I believe every word he says about him and Dylan Larkin. Larkin grew up a Wings fan. He's seen Izzy's resume and the success. So how do you question it? He's frustrated, Larkin, at the end of the year. He's competitive. He said what he had to say. And Izzy, he's not going to panic. And like I said, I'm sure they have a great relationship.
Well, and he's been the best player on the team for a while, right? So he's had to remain patient for all these drafts to happen, all this talent to finally reach their potential. So I can understand the frustration. What did you make of a player of Larkin's caliber saying those comments after the year's already over? Are you okay with that? Did it kind of raise an eyebrow? Like, what did you make of it?
I mean, I am, absolutely. Sometimes you like things to be done behind closed doors. That's how I believe that's the way I carried myself as a captain and as a player. But again, frustration at the end of the year, and I think it's over. It's a new year. Larkin's got off to a great start, so that hasn't affected him one bit.
And probably used it as motivation also over the summer to kind of back it up a little bit. He's flying right now. You see the stats are 11 points in 6 games. To start the season here, and then he is the heartbeat of this team, and it starts with him in so many ways, the way he leads, the way he plays the game. But Detroit is an interesting team because you look at the back end, there's a lot to, I should say this, they put a lot on a lot of young players right now, but they're coming through for them, playing really well, and there's the smartness they're showing, that it's almost that they look more experienced than what they are when you see them play, the defensemen.
It's pretty remarkable, right? You get into a 9-year drought. There's pressure on Yzerman, and doesn't do much at the deadline. Doesn't do a ton over the summer. They're younger. They've gone to a youth movement, and it's working now.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most shocking part of all this is they didn't really go out and sign that big free agent. They did address goaltending. I like the Van Riemsdyk pickup, great net front presence, but I've been very, very impressed. Let's start with Emmitt Finnie, 20 years old, a 7th-round draft pick, and just these little details to his game and why he's being given opportunity on the first line. So he's a left winger, okay? So Larkin's the farthest guy in the O-zone as this puck comes out. Now, Finnie, as a left winger, recognizes that with his hockey intelligence, and he takes over Larkin's position. So as it goes D to D and Seider gets it, look at Finnie recognize where Appleton's now going to go. He becomes an option with a stick on the ice in the middle, okay? So the puck doesn't come to him, but he realizes I'm still the center iceman. So as this goes D to D now, he's going to open up, come low and slow enough to create separation from that check from Florida, and he knows he's got pressure coming in on him. And now he knows that Larkin has his position. So what's he do when he gets his pass? It's going deep. And now he knows he's the F3. And as it comes around, that's now the strong side. Seider wants to keep pressure, so he's going to pinch. Finnie then takes his spot. He covers. Sometimes young guys in that situation, they might just all of a sudden dip in, where he was responsible and smart enough to know not to do that. And even in this situation where it gets turned over, he remains patient as the F3. It gets turned over, and what does he do after that? Realizes there's no one in front of the net. He's going to create a little bit of screen on Bobrovsky, and then Appleton's able to finish this. And this is the other angle here. So for a kid that's 20 years old, for me, it's not so much his play with the puck, although he's got 5 points and he's leading the team in hits right now. It's his ability and his intelligence away from the puck as a 20-year-old in this league.
See Detroit warming up right here. Shelly, I'm going to come back to you, because one thing we talked with Steve Yzerman was about, it's Hockeytown. I know it's a four-sport pro town, but it is Hockeytown. So you can say that the Tigers are good, the Lions are good. They're both contenders right now. Detroit, the Pistons are back in the playoff picture last year. But you've been in that city. Yeah. 9-year drought. I mean, patience wears thin at some point. And I know that Yzerman gets a big grace term, and a larger one than most GMs wouldn't, given his history. But this is a city that feels like it revolves around playoff hockey. 25 straight years.
Yeah, well, Kenny Holland was trying to get that streak and extend that streak of the playoffs. And I think that cost some years, trying to rebuild the team. So Stevie was handed that, first of all. So, again, no one works harder than Steve Yzerman. He has no hobbies. We taught, nothing. He just lives and sleeps and breathes hockey. So, yeah, so it's getting to that point now, though. And I know Chris Ilitch has all the confidence in the world in him. Let Stevie do his thing. You have to. Like I said, his resume speaks for itself. And hopefully this is a year. They've gotten off to the great start. You saw what happened last year, how they missed the playoffs last game. So, let's see if they can continue to keep this going.
5 straight wins for the Red Wings.